A fifth consecutive night of burning anger in France. Cars set on fire and looting in Paris. Street battles and tear gas fired in Marseille. Flashpoints too in Lyon. But less intense, apparently, than the previous 4 nights of unrest. The rioters kept in check by the overwhelming presence of tens of thousands of police, mobilized nationwide and guarding famous landmarks. The riots were sparked by the shooting of 17-year-old Naël M. during a police traffic stop in a suburb of Paris on Tuesday.
Imagine if that had happened to my brother in the street because he refused to stop. We should be safe with the police, but we're scared of them. That is not normal.
Protesters said long-simmering anger at racial and economic inequality exploded.
The police checked us at least 4 times. We are just here for justice. We are not here to break stuff.
They mix everything up. She's black, and therefore she must be like this.
He's Arab, so he is like this. Life is not like that.
The French finance minister said more than 700 shops, supermarkets, and restaurants had been looted or damaged since Tuesday. Facing one of the worst crises of his presidency, Emmanuel Macron postponed a state visit to Germany. In Nanterre, where Naël lived and died, large crowds turned out for his funeral on Saturday. The many mourners following his coffin and continuing their calls for justice. Alexandra Byers, Al Jazeera.
Joining us now live from Paris is Al Jazeera's Bernard Smith. Bernard, the violence, as we've heard, less intense last night than it's been over the last few nights. Bring us up to speed with the latest first.
Well, yes, quieter in major Paris cities overnight, not least, though, because of intense policing. 45,000 police officers deployed across France, but mainly we're talking about Paris, Marseille and Lyon, the 3 biggest French cities. That policing helped in keeping a lid, it seems, on the protests. Here on the Champs-Élysées, there was a call on social media on Saturday night for protesters to come out here and protest, and here there was a large police presence. There was police checking through people's bags, and shops have been boarded up. But it is much calmer today. There was a mayor's office that was attacked. That's the main headline on French local television. But the authorities feel or hope that the worst of the protests are over. Fully.
You're standing, Bernard, on France's famous Champs-Élysées Avenue. It's the beginning of the summer holiday season very soon in France. How is this all affecting the country's image?
Well, this is undoubtedly a blow to France's image. The Champs-Élysées is this morning very busy, as it always is, with tourists. This is the most visited city in the world, in the most visited country in the world. And the French are really concerned about how this looks overseas. One of the main stories on French television news last night was the reporting of this story by overseas media. Emmanuel Macron's already had to cancel 1 state visit this year. That was King Charles from the UK, was due to come in March, but that was cancelled because of the pension protests. Now Macron's cancelled a state visit to Germany. It piles political pressure on Macron, and we're just a year away from the Olympics. So the government is really worried about not just the social issues of what's provoking the rioting, but also the image and the cost to France internationally.
Bernard, thank you very much. Bernard Smith live there in Paris.